Hey, Randy Miller with Roche Realty Group, GraniteStateLand.com. I am out here today in Warner on a property that is 10.43 acres. It's pretty much all wooded with just the exception of the driveway and a little pad for an RV, which I'm going to show you here in just a moment. It also does have a cabin, and we're going to explore that together. So let's get to it. All right, so from the driveway, which is right off the road. In fact, let's walk back this way real quick here. So this is the road here coming in, and it is a Class 5 road. However, it is only seasonally maintained. You probably heard that car going by me. As long as there's no snow on it, it's passable. But they do not plow it in the winter. It is a part of the snowmobile trail system. So if it's a particularly snowy year, you may only be able to access it in the winter via a snowmobile. However, it is a pretty well-maintained road other than that. So, and then it comes in, and then you have the driveway here, which is going to kind of go down. The cabin is just over here to my right, and this goes down slightly. It's a little bit of a decline from the road, and forgive the solar glare there, trying to keep that out of the lens. But and then it goes down. You can see the pad down there. We're going to go down there in just a minute, but I'm going to go take a look at the cabin at this point. All right, so as we kind of walk through, there's just a little pathway here that goes down. I'm not sure what those stairs are. Might have been something to do with the RV. And this area here is somewhat developed. So they left a couple things here, but this picnic table's seen better days. There is a little shed here, and I'm not sure what's in here. Let's figure it out together. And oh, yeah, there we go. We got some sticks and fire starter. That's kind of nice. And that's a nice little feature there. And we got the another shed over here, which I believe also had wood in it the last time I was here. Let's just take a peek in there. And yeah, actually looks like they may have stored some chairs and maybe just some stuff to keep it out of the weather. And look at that. They even left us a snow shovel, some tools, old wheelbarrow, and interesting stuff. But it's a neat little cabin. We're going to go inside here in just a moment. We do have a grill here. I don't know what kind of shape it's in, but oh yeah, it's not in bad shape at all, actually. And little table. So yeah, they left us a few things, nothing major. And then there's a nice little fire pit area over here as well, which is pretty cool. So all right, and then we're gonna head inside. All right, so the front door here goes into like a little porch area. It is screened. And look at that little table and some chairs. This looks like some more wood, maybe. Yep, some firewood there. That's pretty nice. And then a couple more chairs and some kind of maybe a let me get the solar glare out of there. Maybe a some kind of a propane heater situation there. And then inside, there's no running water or well or anything that I know of. They do have a sink here. I'm not sure. Maybe they brought water in. Nice little cabinet. And oh, lots of dishes. Look at that. Fun. It is wired for electrical. I believe that what they did was hook up a generator outside, and there was some there's outlets and everything here. So possible to put in a solar panel maybe. I don't know. It's pretty wooded. You might have to clear some trees out, but there's a nice wood stove here though. Looks like it takes some pretty good sized sticks. Yep, just some tools for the fire place. Oh, little, I don't know, it might be deer skin, I think, and deer pelt, and just some smaller things. So it's a pretty small cabin. It's not much, but it is kind of a nice feature to have on a little property like this. So, all right, back outside. So, all right, we're gonna go around the cabin again on this side now. So this is the, I guess the front. And then here we go around the sides. So let's take a peek under here. See what we got. Looks like it's just kind of goes through. Pretty good decking. It doesn't look like it's sagging anywhere, which is really nice. Pretty solid foundation. The lot's pretty bony, so there's a lot of rock on the ground and things, but for the most part, there's some trails and stuff that go through the property, so I'll kind of show you that as we go along, but it's not so bad, actually, the way that it's laid out. You can kind of work with the rocks and such. So this, it's hard to tell on the camera, but this is a pretty good significant drop off. It probably I'd say 30% grade down. Anyway, we're gonna keep on keeping on. We're gonna go down the trails now. Okay, from up here, there's a little pathway that comes down. And so by the fire pit here, but then it kind of just goes along here. And this is kind of neat. It just walks along this little footpath here over to probably one of the most important features of the whole property, the old outhouse. And I see these from time to time. They're also known as privies. Let's take a peek at it. It's actually in pretty good shape there. Little waste basket, some stuff to clean with. And yeah, and even a mirror. Pretty cool. But yeah, it looks pretty clean actually, considering. So awesome. And that's that. Okay, so we're back on the pathway. So it's definitely wide enough to bring an RV down here. You'd have to probably, back it down or whatever. But this is pretty level. It's all stone and it has like a wood, landscaping ties, for the retaining walls, and it's looks pretty sturdy. I mean, it's got a little bit of a lip to it, so it keeps the stones in place, and yeah, it feels solid. I mean, I'm guessing it's probably about 30 feet, maybe 25 or something. Looks like a little tree growing here right in the middle of it, but that could easily be taken out. And then there's a couple things left, a nice little wagon, tarp, some other things here. Probably not super useful, but yeah, it's pretty cool spot. All right, and even a little white fence here. So this must have been the front where the door was. But anyway, we're gonna keep going down this path here. We're kind of going along the not exactly parallel with the road, but somewhat parallel with the road as we kind of go at a slight angle into the property here. And I was here the other day, and this basically will come down and we're going to turn, but this is a really nice little ATV trail. Probably couldn't get a real wide, like a side-by-side through here. Maybe you'd have to probably take a few of these smaller trees out to do that, but for the most part, it is pretty well established, and it just kind of goes down. And so I guess this would be kind of like a switchback here where it came down and now we're turning and going back towards the other side of the property, towards where the cabin is, but going downhill. So yeah, and again, it's pretty well maintained. You could easily get a four-wheeler down here, dirt bike or anything like that. Again, if you wanted to bring a side-by-side down, it probably would require some additional clearing to widen the trail out a little bit, but probably not a ton though. Depends on how wide your side-by-side is. But as we come down here, we're getting to one of the low points on the property, and it looks like, just from my observation, that there might be some water that comes through here, maybe in the winter, post-winter rather, in the spring when you get a lot of runoff from snow melt. It does look like there's some, maybe even some heavy rains or something. So they kind of come through here and then goes off, and then off the property out that way. Again, this is close to the lowest point, but we're gonna actually go up over this little ridge here and come to a point where it's even a little bit lower, and there might even be some wetlands down in here, just a little bit, but the trail continues on right along. We're just kind of walking on it, so it's pretty nice, but you can kind of see how bony the lot is. It is pretty bony, but like I said, the way that they've built the trails in here, it really works. It makes it kind of a cool layout to get around the property and both sides. And again, a lot of solar glare. I apologize, but we'll get down around this corner here pretty quick. But yeah, over this way again, you've got some pretty good sized boulders in here, and I'm just realizing I forgot to bring Dewey. That poor guy, he would have had a ball out here. All right, so this up here is, again, it kind of just goes off up here. And I believe we're getting now to about the lowest part of the property. It's just going to come right over here a little ways. And so right through here, as a matter of fact, is where I think that there's somewhat of a runoff here as well. There's no water in it now. We've had a really dry year. Excuse me. And we have had a lot of rain lately, which is great. We needed it super bad. But even so, there's not much here. There's no water standing or anything here, although we might run into some. Actually, I'm starting to see a little bit down here, and some kind of a bucket with holes in it. Almost looks like a laundry basket or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's a little bit of water here, and the property kind of goes back up over this ridge. So this ridge is kind of high. It goes off, and again, it's 10.43 acres. We're probably on the front like 3 acres to here, and then the balance of the property is out there. It's all wooded, but very mature, easy to get through. So kind of like looking around here, seeing what might be interesting to get a look at. But there we go. Whoop. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So I'm gonna check my map and kind of see how close to the boundary I am, because I got to be getting somewhat close to the south boundary of the property. And I'll be back. So I was wrong, actually. I'm only about halfway across the from the north to the south boundary, and I'm probably, like I said, maybe a third into the property from the road back. It's more narrow than it is deep, so it goes back quite a ways, but pretty good amount of space from north to south boundary. You can probably see Lila back there getting a little experience in here. All right, so again, I'm finding more water here, and this is really kind of cool. This is great, actually. Let me turn the camera around. So now we've got more evidence of some stream activity. It's not a running brook, but probably active during snow melt, heavy rains, things like that. And it goes just kind of through the property, and we're, this side, it kind of goes from the north boundary to the south boundary. It slopes downward, not at a really big pitch, but it does go down maybe, maybe 5 degrees, maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 degrees. It's pretty light slope. And all right, so as we're kind of going back out this way towards where they kind of had the trail built in, I kind of got off the trail, but so I think, yeah, through here again, you can get an ATV dirt bike, something like that, down through here. And, oh yeah, so that one low area over there with the water in it, and then we have this other one that's, now they're kind of converging together a little bit. So, and we're heading towards, again, towards the south boundary of the property. And on the contour map, you'll definitely see this area is pretty obvious on the map. So, all right. And I am going to check my location again, and I'll be back. All right, so this is actually the boundary right here. So I can kind of see a little bit through here. It looks like it slightly opens up a little bit over there. Maybe there was some logging on that next property over. And but yeah, this right here is the south boundary that I'm on here. Nice big rock. I'm not certain I'd find any markers even in the corners. It's just, I don't recall the last time this lot was surveyed, if it was at all, over the years. But if it hasn't been done in the last like 30 or 40 years at least, then we probably wouldn't find much evidence of markers. But this is approximately where the boundary marker is here. And yep, and then it goes off again to the west, which is off this way. And there's a pretty good sized hill over there to get up. And I might just take a quick wander up there and see what we can see. So this is one of the tougher parts of the job, is climbing up these steep hills. So it's not terrible. I'm kind of doing the back and forth thing, but it does go up quite a ways, but I can see where it's gonna flatten out up here, and that's what I'm heading for. Building a trail up here, I don't think it'd be that tough. There's a lot of spots where I think you can get through pretty easy. Might be some, might have to move some stones around, you know, but the more you explore, the more areas you might find where it's easy to get up the hill here. So we're almost there. So yeah, whew, this is something. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, so see Lila way up there, but yeah, it's got a little bit of steepness to it. I'm getting there. Whoa. There we go. We are heading towards the west as the lot sits. So I say I've got about another 20 feet of incline here. But not bad. All right. So I made it mostly to the top. I'm kind of running out of daylight, so I'm going to head back down to the cabin. I need to take some pictures and get the drone out. But man, what a beautiful property. It's got a lot of great features to it. If you like, you know, being outdoors and hiking around, you can make your own trails out here pretty easily. And I'm starting to see a view over to my towards the south, and it looks pretty good. Let me kind of turn the camera around here so you can kind of see what I'm looking at here. So obviously the foliage is off the trees mostly now, so you're seeing everything, but I'm imagining that once you get up on top of this hill here, and you know, you have a little bit of the tree control here. It's pretty steep. It's steep enough where you could easily clear yourself out a nice little spot to build a just a little, maybe like a gazebo, or just a few chairs in a fire pit or something up here. There's a nice big hill up here actually. You can kind of see through the woods there, that has some good potential, you know, right at the top of that thing would be a really cool spot to build like a little seating area. You'd have yourself a nice view up there. But yeah, and then it kind of like once you get over this ridge here, it levels off and goes back quite a ways further to the west. But all right, I'm gonna be heading back down.